It was one of those real hot nights in the city. The street vents were steaming and it felt like everything was just going to melt. I had gone into the kitchen for some water when I felt the whole building shift under my feet. I noticed a large crack in the wall, and I knew something was very wrong. The first thing I did was call 911. The operator told me that there may be a structural problem with the building, and that I should evacuate if I didn't feel safe, and that I should not take the elevator. That was easier said than done for me. Without my walker, I can't really get around. The only way I was going to get down those stairs was if somebody helped me. The 911 operator told me that the fire department had been dispatched and that emergency workers would be coming. But I felt like I was in real danger and that I should get out. I started to panic a bit. And then I thought, Patricia, get a hold of yourself. You've made plans for these kinds of emergencies. Just follow the plan, and everything will be okay. One of my designated emergency contacts is my neighbor, Tori. She has a spare key to my apartment. Tori knows how to help me get downstairs with my walker. We had already made arrangements for her to check in on me if there was ever an emergency, so by the time I got her on the phone, she was on her way to my apartment. I put my cat Charlie into his carrier, which holds not only him, but all of his supplies. When Tori got to my apartment, I grabbed my medications and my go bag, which I keep by the front door, and we headed straight for the emergency stairs. It was slow going in the stairwell, but eventually we made it to the street. The scene on the street was chaotic. The entire building was being evacuated because of a structural problem. A young lady that I recognized from the building waved me down. She and her mother don't speak much English. She was alone and pretty scared when I saw her. I asked her about her mom, and she pointed back up at the building with a nervous look on her face. That's when the firemen started asking her questions, but they were having trouble understanding each other. Tori had stepped in to try to help when the young lady pulled some index cards from her backpack. The cards were full of important information written in simple English. One of the cards had contact information for her aunt, and we were able to give her a call. I told Tori that Susie needed more help than me, so Tori promised to stay with Susie until her aunt arrived. I also ran into my neighbor Richard, and he looked so worn out. He didn't have a bag pre-packed for emergencies, and because everything was such a rush, he didn't have time to grab any of his medications. Poor Richard had to borrow my phone to get in touch with his family and his doctor. He can't afford to miss taking a dose of his heart medication. He seemed so shocked and angry that this was happening to us. You know, you never want to believe it's going to happen to you. But when you really stop to think about it, emergencies happen all the time in the city. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. The only thing you can really do about it is to prepare yourself. My apartment is my family's meeting spot in emergencies, but obviously that was not going to work out. But we have a backup location, which is the public library a few blocks away. In the end, I was okay because I was prepared. I have a network of family, friends, and neighbors who provide me with support. And together, we follow the same plan to make sure that we are able to communicate and regroup. Being ready for emergencies can be a matter of life or death. Not just for someone like me, but for everyone. I don't know about you, but I still have a lot of living left to do. So I'm going to stay prepared.